Hi everybody, this is Lauren Hash, and this will be my Stackathon project called Shady Glen. Now at the moment it's just kind of a sandbox for like first-person RPG mechanics, but in the future I may expand this to be something like a combination between like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley with some more like fantasy aesthetic. So this was my first time using Unity, and it was also my first time writing in C sharp. So I don't know why I decided to do that over the course of 4 days, but it made my life a living hell. But as you can see, I do have something to show for it, so that's cool. So I'm going to start by presenting some very basic mechanics. So I can move around with the WASD keys. I can jump by pressing space. I can also sprint if I hold down shift. If I release it, I start going normal speed. Um, so then I do have a combat system, kind of, and some very twitchy spiders. By the way, I'm not really like secure about animating in Unity yet, so like you'll see like I did come up with these animations for like the sword and the bow, but they're kind of lame. But anyway, so if I swing my sword at this thing, it'll destroy it. And how I accomplished that was the sword basically has like a hitbox around it. It's like a big cube. It's like bigger than you would think from looking at the model. So when I swing it, the animation will like follow the sword. And if it hits anything, it destroys it. And now the bow, I can hold down the left mouse button and release it. And that just killed the spider. Now, the bow is interesting because if I only hold it down one way and release it, it won't kill the spider. But now if I do it again, it will. So there actually are damage values in this game. And with the bow, the longer you hold it down, the more damage it does, but it does cap at a certain point. So basically I accomplished that by having a value that increased depending on how long you held it down. And then I multiplied it by the base damage of the bow. So like 100% would be like 1 times the base damage. Holding it any less would be a decimal times the base damage. So now I'm going to show off the inventory system, which this honestly took longer than like everything else in the project combined. So even though this just looks like a menu, in Unity it was very hard to do. So anyway, let's start with equipment. So right now we only have a sword and a bow equipped. So I'm going to go into the inventory here, and I'm just going to press E to equip all these items. So leather armor, leather boots, leather pants, leather helmet. I have a second helmet, so if I go ahead and equip that, because the leather helmet is kind of garbage, that's going to replace it, as you see here. Now I can go ahead and just do this as many times as I want, and it'll never get rid of the other helmet. If I want to just get rid of this, I can press the F button and it drops it. It doesn't appear on the ground or anything yet, but that would probably be a feature that I'd implement in the future. Now I can also pick up, these are regular items, and you'll also notice I have like a hover text that pops up when I hover over anything that says what it is. This also applies to NPCs. It says their names. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick up all this stuff really quick. Let's go ahead. Um, and the interesting thing about the inventory system is I actually accomplished this using a dictionary, which is very similar to a hash table. It has key value pairs, and the reason I did it this way was because I wanted to store the quantity as well as the item itself. And the items that you see here, they actually have additional properties in the script, such as the effect that they have, and I just felt that the best way to do that was to store them in something like a hash table. So it turns out that in C# you can store things in a dictionary, which is like a hash table but better. I think, and I'm not sure on this, it allows you to store a little more in the way of like a little more freedom in what you store. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just stand in this fire over here for a second. And you'll see my HP is ticking down. So let's just wait one more second. We're good. Alright, so now I'm going to show you the health potion. So if I use this, my HP goes up by 30. Let's go ahead and use another one. It went up by 30. And another one, it capped at 100. Alright, so I have one left that I don't need. And like before, I could just get rid of this by pressing F. And also these. I don't know why I have revise in the game. Um, anyway, so you'll see that persists if I close the menu and bring it back up again. By the way, there are these extra categories. These aren't actually in the game yet, so don't worry about those. And as a last note, you can talk to the NPCs. They don't really say anything interesting, but just to show you, there is a working dialogue system, and by the way, this is a helpful NPC named William. And that's about it. Alright, thank you for watching my presentation. If you have any questions about it, just let me know later. But yeah, this is what it is. I hope you liked it.